What up, Mike? Bam. Bam. We are locked in. Got my big fitted hat. Oh, shoot. I forgot what my scent of the day was. Oh, Elysium. Okay. Yo, I finally made it through that day 3 discovery sets. 2 of my top picks are definitely Del Mar and Philosophia. Beautiful. They are good. They are good. Are you going to wind up, which one do you think you're going to get first, Mike? Appreciate it. Thank you. Boom. Parmin Vafase. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Hey, I'm ready tonight. I'm ready for all of it. Boom, 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 boom. It's good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. We're just waiting for everybody to show up. Everybody's popping in. Trust me, everybody's popping in. Probably Del Mar. Okay. Del Mar has a crazy story behind it, man. Wait till you get that fragrance inside the box. It'll open up and tell you the story on what that fragrance was trying to capture. It's really dope. Del Mar is amazing. Hello, Isabella, Alina. ¿Qué onda, güey? Por favor. What y'all got for me tonight? Muchos pregunto. Or wait, preguntas. Muchas preguntas. See. Top Byredo fragrances. Top 3. The vanilla and the Vanille Antique, the Bal de Freak, and the Biblioteque. Oh. How y'all doing, man? Scent of the day. What are y'all doing? Of course, Dashy. I'm not gonna go crazy tonight. Not gonna go crazy. Alicia, good to see you. Hey girl, when you gonna stop playing and get on my come play Wheel of Fragrance, Alicia? When you gonna come onto the channel? You know we got a spot for you over here. I'm trying to get the ladies on here. Boom, 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 boom. Scent of the day, Desert Rain. Beautiful scent. Hey, how do I say Desert Rain in Spanish? ¿Qué significa Desert Rain? Alicia, get over here. Stop playing. You seen I've been bringing ladies on the channel. I want the ladies' perspective. I want ladies' perspective. We can do 21 questions with you. Keep it simple. Nice little icebreaker. Or you can come play Wheel of Fragrance. I'd love to have you on. Stop playing. People need to hear your voice. I have over 60. No, not 60. 100. 100? How do you say 100 in Spanish? 100? Cience? I don't know. Scent of the day, Amouage Jubilation. Beautiful. See, that's why we need to have you on, Alicia. Come on. They're still around. They're still popping. What's your favorite fragrance du bois? I'm not a big fragrance du bois person. They have a lot of fragrances that I'm still going through. I haven't found my soldiers yet. There's too many. I went into Neiman Marcus last month, and they had a multi-tier shelf of like 40 fragrance du bois. I mean, it was insane. So, I mean, I tried to get through them. I've interacted with fragrance du bois a couple of times. My homie, he has a lot of those fragrances. He's brought them over, but a lot of them are clones, man. A lot of them are just niche clones. So I'm still working my way through fragrance du bois to find what I would recommend to you guys. Quality's there for sure. I just feel like they clone so much. Like every fragrance du bois he showed me, I showed him a fragrance that smells just like it. So, you know. Boom, boom. Don't. Yeah, I mean, even Boadicea, I mean, it's crazy. Boadicea, Fragrance du Bois, something parfums. It's essential parfums. A lot of those houses, they clone so hard. I mean, it's nothing bad about it. It's just I'm not buying up on a clone. Also, SB, if I get the chance, I've got a few frags to send your way, so I'll let you know. Hey, you don't even got to let me know when you send them, man. Just look at the address on the description of any of my videos. I have a private mailbox, and you could put a note in the letter or in the box just telling me, hey, Mike sent these. I'll shout you out when I review them, and, you know, you don't even have to contact me. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, though, in my experience with Roja, you know, even when they kind of clone, they do it different to me. It might be subtle. Like, for instance, when I did my vetiver review, I said that Guerlain's vetiver parfum is the same as vetiver sensual is the same as vetiver from Roja. All three of those are very, very close. They're only different by about 5%. So in one hand, you could say Roja cloned Guerlain, but Roja did their own sparkle to it. Taif Oud is not necessarily a clone, but I can name fragrances that smell like it. Herod is different. Burlington 1819 is different. Diaghilev is a clone. Diaghilev is a straight up clone of either Mitsuko or Jiki from Guerlain. He did something different with it, though. He made that fragrance feel like an extrait. Way heavier than that. Roja's definitely got his hand in some clonery, but I respect Roja because most of what he does is special. That ain't going to be the case anymore, though. You know? That ain't going to be the case anymore. It's out with Roja and in with all of his, you know, all his new proteges. So we'll see. Thoughts on Cade Alphason Intense, the green bottle with the silver branding. It's okay. I don't think it's worth the money, but it's okay. Scent of the day, Nawab of Oud by Ormond Jane. I haven't smelled that, JR. They make small moves, but not worth the price. I agree, but one thing I will say, Alicia, is like, for instance, with the Roja Parfum Cologne series, right? You can get Elysium's Flanker, Danger, Scandal, Creation E, Vetiver. You can get all those for $120. So I'm paying $120 for Roja, no question. Now, when we move to like Diaghilev, now I have Diaghilev, but when we get to our $500 to $1,000 scents, that's where you have to be different. Thoughts on the new Prada? Oh, the green one? It's mid. I mean, it's like I'm not paying retail for that. I'm gonna wait 6 months to a year and get it for like $30. It it didn't, I don't even want to say it didn't blow me away, because fragrances don't have to like blow me away, but I'm not paying retail for that scent profile. Not Cade Alfrason, it's Cade Intense, similar to Givenchy Gentleman. I don't think I've smelled it then. I don't think I've put my nose to it yet. It must be a new release. I think I even posted an announcement about that release. I don't think I put my nose to it yet. Mix of Mitsuko, like, gotcha. Yeah, for sure, Alicia. What makes a fall fragrance? You gotta watch my video, Nathan. We just did fall fragrances and what makes a fall fragrance. Come on. I need to move over more. I'm sure you guys want to see my collection more than you want to see me. Come on, what questions y'all got for me tonight, man? I'm only going to be on an hour. I'm going to be standing up for an hour. I might go sit on that bench right there. We'll see. The last live I did, it was a collab, so YouTube got all anal about it and cut my audience in half, but that's okay. By the way, that new series you're doing, The Frag Effect, has got me captivated. Great content. Love what you're doing. Hey, thanks, Mike. Hey, that'll eventually, once we hit episode 10, it'll be on all platforms. So you can watch it on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify. You'll be able to watch all of that. So what's your favorite vintage so far? Oh, man, I'm going crazy on vintage. Man, so, well, I guess I'm not really going crazy on vintage, but I think I am for where I'm at in my journey. Like, I bought like 30 vintage samples, mostly Guerlain, Chanel, Ubagant, Estee Lauder, you know, stuff like that. And I bought a lot of vintage bottles actually today. So right now, I haven't gone through all of this in detail, but let me check. So ones that I'm liking right now would be Guerlain's. L'Instant de Guerlain, obviously. Boucheron by Boucheron. Azzaro Pour Homme, Dune from Christian Dior. Aqua Allegoria Forte Nerolia Vetiver. That's not super vintage. There's so much more. I bought a bunch of discontinued vintage Lalique today. I got, oh man, I gotta remember what I bought now. I bought some Estee Lauder today. I forget a lot of their names because they're French, you know. Yeah, I mean, I completed my modern Lalique set, but I found a vintage seller who sells vintage for very affordable. And he and she had a ton of vintage, discontinued, original Lalique fragrances. And so I bought like 3 or 4 bottles today. They were selling them for like 10 to 20 bucks. Full bottle, brand new, packaging, the whole nine. I was making out like a bandit today. I think I bought 15 fragrances, all vintage. Yeah, you should check it out, Alicia. I have a vintage source for decants called, let me see what her name is. Surrender to Chance. Go on Google and type Surrender to Chance fragrances. She has a huge bag of vintage in terms of if you want to sample 1 mLs, 2 mLs with atomizers and stuff like that. So that's really cool. But as far as buying vintage bottles, there's this shop out of LA that sells on the WhatsApp, Whatnot, I think is the app, Whatnot. And they have a storefront that they run day and night mostly. And they have insane amounts of, they even had like rappers and singers fragrances. Like, it was crazy. The vintage that they had was nuts. And then they had like vintage niche too. So I got like some vintage Bulgari, some vintage Balmain, some vintage Chanel, all packaged. And I think the most I paid for a fragrance was like 22 bucks, and that was because it was a Lalique and I had to have it, so I overbidded. But it was having the Whatnot app. Me and Kix found some serious. Now that girl, Surrender to Chance, is not on what app? Surrender to Chance is just the sample person. She sells bottles as well, but she puts that bottle vintage tax on it. The person I found on Whatnot, it's a bidding process and you figure out instantly if you win. And the fragrances on average I'm getting from there range between $5 and $20 max. Most of them I paid $5, $10 for all my vintage, full bottle, presentation, sealed. It was incredible. So that was awesome, because otherwise you've got to pay so much vintage tax on these vintage bottles, and then people don't have like a big selection either. Okay, let me see what I'm missing. Snipers on deck, yes. What up, Ricky? Scent of the day, Latafa Kanjar. Estee Lauder slaps. Try some Avon, Revlon, Rokas Vintage. There was a lot of Rokas Vintage in there. Dude was selling a lot of that. What's going on with the new Gucci Guilty Elixir? It's amazing. Scent of the day, Mancera Sicily with signature black rose. That's got to smell amazing. Lemon rose, that could be interesting. Okay, I'm back to the bottom, guys. Scent of the day, Torino 21. Beautiful, Stanford. Good choice. Scent of the day, Rasasi Hawass OG. I see you. We gave a full bottle of that away last giveaway. I forgot who it went to. By the way, guys, I still have my giveaway coming up. It's been crazy. I've been shooting a lot of content. I dropped my, oh, you guys will see my memoir tomorrow. New memoir dropping. Best whiskey rose fragrance. Oh, this one. There's only one to me as far as whiskey and rose. Baranda Nasamato. This was one of two fragrances I smelled in LA that I had to buy. Had to buy it. This one's incredible. Don't worry about the fact that it's a 30 ml. It's an extrait. It's a very high oil concentration. It's the highest oil concentration that extrait can offer. Best whiskey rose fragrance, no question. Amazing fragrance. Thoughts on Le Labo? I don't think it's worth the money. Just get a like a Sensual Obsessions or something version of it. You don't need to pay Le Labo money for Le Labo. It's too simple of a scent to me. Sensual Obsessions probably has a Le Labo, I'm sure. Whiskey Rose Savoir Faire is one of the best whiskey roses. Kicks, don't be talking about my lady. Tell him Baranda's the best. Take it back. Nitro perfume. Okay. Do you have a frag that unexpectedly pulled compliments? Honestly, I'm not surprised this got compliments. I'm surprised how many it got. Trace Oros from day 3. The compliment factor is so high, I lost count. So I knew it would get compliments, but hold on. It's crazy how tight the cap is on that Desert Rain. Yeah, Trace Oros, you know, I knew it would get compliments, but I'm shocked. Oh, shoot. I got to switch those out. I'm shocked how many compliments it got, because it just, every time I go outside with this fragrance, it gets insane compliments. And people know that. Like, I've said publicly many a time that Tres Oros just gets infinite amounts of compliments. Is there a fragrance between Damascus Rose and Turkish Rose? Is there a difference between Damascus and Turkish Rose? Not that you would notice, because too many great rose fragrances combine 2 or more roses, or they only use 1 rose. Where you're at in your journey, Dashi, I don't think you're going to see a difference between the 2. But there is one. I think Turkish and Damask Rose are probably closer than some of the other ones, like Taif and Bulgarian and Rose de Mai and all that stuff. But yeah. I'm not going to randomly talk about a fragrance. If you have a specific question, I can put you on game, but talk about birds. Okay, I was wondering that for a while. Hot Thanks Kicks. What do you think about Al Harmain Carbon? Solid. Solid. It's solid. It doesn't excite me, but it's solid. What do you think about Prada Luna Rosa Carbon? Now that is a nice Swiss Army utility fragrance right there. My girl wants a femme fatale fragrance. What's the best one I should get? You asked me that before, Dash. I gotta look that up again. Femme fatale, what is that? Sometimes called a man-eater or a vamp, is a stock character of mysterious, beautiful, seductive woman whose charm ensnares her lovers, often leading them to compromising, deadly traps. So you're asking me, basically, how can you get your wife to seduce you, right? Study your girl and the answer is there, my guy. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you want me to pick your wife's fragrance? It's almost like asking me to come over and spend time with her. Ask your girl what fragrance she wants to get naughty with you with. She'll tell you. How much on that shelf? Too much. Cool water. Yippee. Cough and Nitro Red is the same? No. No. No, I don't know where you thought that. Doom 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 doom. Alien is a very beautiful frag for women, in my opinion. I mean, every Day 3 fragrance except Royal Reflection and Desert Rain is unisex. Those 2 are unisex, but to me, Royal Reflection is decisively feminine. I mean, he made it for a specific woman. Desert Rain, to me, is decisively masculine, you know. Now, the Banhammer is always strong. We remove anybody who acts goofy. Anyone. Snipers on deck. Speaking of which. What's your take on Versace Eros as a beginner fragrance? Amazing. It'll do a lot for you. You wear it in the day. It's sweet enough to wear in the night. 4 seasons, $35, 100 mil. Thoughts on the new YSL Myself Elixir? It's good. I don't want to give it a 7 out of 10, otherwise you guys will thrash me in the comments. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10, just for you. Dashi, you already know the answer to that. You asked it last time, and you asked it this time, and I specifically told you the same answer every time. It's right there by my left ear. Here, I'll wiggle my ear. That fragrance right there. Don't. What up, guys? What up? You did ask me, bro. I might even have a screenshot of it. Oh. It makes me laugh when people ask, like, do you know about a petrichor fragrance? Because it's just like, you mean a fragrance that smells like rain? Like, why don't people just say, hey, you got a fragrance that smells like rain? I don't know where people started learning what petrichor means. That's just crazy. Can I skip Kamarakawa and buy a Fragrance World's Royal Blend Nero? Not the same fragrance. Not the same fragrance. They're not related. How is a guy gonna call me gay and his name's Draw with Francisco? Your name's Draw with Francisco. There's nothing gayer than that. Thoughts on the King of Kings line? Anything in particular? Boom, 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 boom. I wanted to up my vocabulary. You're right. Do you know of the best condensation fragrance? What up, Jay? Don't. We'll freestyle on here one night. When I hit my first 150 viewers, I think the highest we've gone on the channel was 130. When I hit my first 150 viewers, we will do a sick routine beatbox and we will freestyle anything you guys put in the chat. I don't like my Blue de Chanel EDT. I'm thinking of swapping it. Swap it. Don't. Listen, guys, anyone can do what they want to do, but me personally, I don't like men. So it doesn't serve you well to tell me how I look to you as a fellow man. I'm not into that. Keep it to yourself. Best condensation fragrance is taking a mild hot shower while it's storming outside. That's interesting. What are some fragrances that you have meaningful scent memories for? Gray Vetiver, best office scent, first ever vetiver fragrance I encountered. Trace Orost, the most compliments I've ever gotten with a fragrance. Lalique, anything from Lalique. It's the first fragrance house I bought the entire line of. I got scent memories with a lot of stuff. What's your favorite beer? I don't drink beer. What's a good fragrance to layer with Encre Noir Sport? Pretty much anything citric, anything fruity. Chapter 1 private blend, what about it? I take that back. I mean, back in the day, which for me would be like 10 plus years ago, if I drank a beer, it would have been a party beer. So it's whatever people bring. Did I have a beer of choice? I don't think most young men have a beer of choice. And if you do, you're probably an alcoholic. What do you think about Bath and Body Works? Think you should try harder to get other stuff because there's other stuff available. Okay, I used to not like Sauvage, but I smelled it on a buddy of mine and it smelled completely different from the few times I've tried it. Bro, you should have took a shower. Are you... Hello, sir. Are you a fragrance expert? I am a fragrance expert. Buzz says, I want to smell like a rich gay man. Well, you do. You don't have to change anything. Herba Pura, good fragrance. Which winter perfume would you use if you're 25 years old? Le Male Elixir. Is BDK Oud Ambrad good? I haven't smelled that in a long time, Mindset, and I don't cap on this channel. I don't own it. I don't own a sample of it, but I have smelled it, but I haven't smelled it in such a long time that I don't feel comfortable giving you my opinion on it. Any recommendations that are like Tribeca or Gourmand scents? Yeah, man, go shop over with Born to Stand Out, Day 3, or Kerosene. All three of those houses have great gourmands. He's the Lord of Fragrance. Nah, bro. Dude, I tell people I'm not the Lord of Fragrance. I'm the Professor of Fragrance. Doom, doom, doom. 13-year-old is... Come on, man. Come on. Best Dunhill signature. We're making people famous today. I love it. Best Dunhill signature collection. You're hitting me with the questions tonight, Mindset. Best Dunhill signature collection. I can't speak on it. Don't. I can't. Sorry, LB. Google and YouTube and ChatGPT are going to do you far better than I would or have time for. Sorry, buddy. The Cologne Commander. The Cologne Commander. I'm the Cologne Commander. Give your parents their phones back, guys. Go to bed. Take a nap. I really wish you guys could find stuff to do, man. You got to have a better life than hanging out with me. Best Ganymede 1-to-1. Amir Paris Corner Celestial. Do you prefer spicy or sweet fragrances? Spicy. Oh, we always cook trolls, man. We throw them on the wok grill, you know. We use all that vegetable oil so they get sick real quick, you know, and we just toss them up. Favorite spicy fragrance? Ooh, too many to count. There's too many good spicy fragrances. Try Lalique White. Try Azaro Pour Homme. Try Bois de Portugal. Try Royal Oud from Creed. Thoughts on Fragrance Du Bois NY 5th Avenue? 8 out of 10. What were your first fragrances? For me, it was Curve, Adidas Moves, His Story, the Blue Body. Oh, okay. My first several fragrances growing up was Jordache, Cool Water, Curve, Acqua di Gio Armani, Original Eau de Toilette, Gucci Pour Homme, Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs, Versace Dreamer, Lacoste Red, Givenchy Play. And I wore those for like 10 years. What's your recommendation for a cologne under $50? Depends. What you looking for, Chris? Don't. Have you tried Another 13 by Le Labo? Anything you have in that same vein? I'm not a fan of that fragrance, man. I wouldn't recommend anything in that vein. I'm not a good guy to talk to about that, TT. Sorry, bud. Favorite cologne, but terrible bottle design? Probably Nasamato. I don't really dig these bottle designs. They're very wasteful. Some people like this. Some people think this is cool. But to me, just because it's different doesn't make it cool. great fragrances, but nobody's got time for this. You know, like truthfully, the only reason I do that is so you guys will notice them and know what fragrances are in my collection. Nasamato thankfully comes with these little caps that come with it. And now, but then it's like, this looks terrible, you know? So I'm not a fan of Nasamato at all, but I love their juices. Pause. That sounded crazy. Someone clip that. For Tribeca and Gourmand Sense, can you repeat your answer? I don't remember your question about Tribeca. Gourmand Sense, you can repeat. Oh, Gourmand Sense. Just rewind the video. You can rewind the lives. That's the beautiful thing about lives. And then you can speed back up. Use that. Can you tell me, do you use any fragrances do you use any fragrance that smells like fragrance? LB, fix your question now. Otherwise, I'm going to call a therapist for you. Initio Absolute Aphrodisiac for $180 is a steal. It's a good price. It's not a steal. Discounters will price Initio around that price point. So in the context of retail, it's a steal, but that's pretty normal discount for that fragrance. What's good, SB? I need a Boss Bottled that projects with more longevity. Boss Bottled, the Scent Magnetic. What's the most interesting exotic fragrance in your collection? Exotic? Casamarati Lyra and Roja Oceania. Fragrance maceration tips? Absolutely. So if you have a fragrance and you get it, especially if you live in a hot place, you get it, open it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the air get out. Put it on the shelf. Next day, 1, 2, 3. That pressure should sound smooth. First day 5, next day 3. Put it on the shelf for a week. Next week, come to it. Just hit it once, make sure it's still good, and then just let it sit forever. SB, I'm clowning after this live. I know, I said some crazy stuff. It's all good. Do you have any Pakistan or Dubai fragrances? Yeah. Everything on that shelf right there. Do you know of any one-to-one clones of Stronger With You Intensely? Yes. There's a fragrance called Better With You and Better With You Intensely. They're both great. What about Full House Ace of Spades? 8 out of 10. I grew up wearing Dracar Noir, Adidas, and Jupe. Never really had any expensive ones. Hey, that's okay, Chris. Now I wear lotions from Bath & Body Works. Hey, I can see how Bath & Body Works would be a significant upgrade from Noir, Dracar Noir, Adidas, and Jupe. So that's awesome. It's all about progression. Thoughts on the new Bleu de Chanel exclusive? Finally got my nose on it. It's good. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say if I would buy it or not. I'm not going to say if it's worth it. None of that. It's good. I'm not surprised it's good. It's an elevation or a slight deviation, very subtle deviation, 5-10% difference from the parfum of Bleu de Chanel. So I'm not surprised that it smells good. It's the same fragrance essentially. But yeah, my thoughts are just, okay, cool. Not going to tell you if I would buy it or not. I don't want to influence. I don't want to sway people from good or great fragrances, because a lot of the reasons I feel about certain fragrances, how I feel, is as a content creator and as somebody who has hundreds of fragrances, which is not always helpful to everyday people buying fragrance. Can you explain Club de Nuit? Are they long lasting? So yes. Do you recommend overall for performance and best smelling? Per show. If you're searching in the Club de Nuit line, go to per show and call it a day. 12 plus hours of performance. Juicy. You get the same kind of Eros energy top, but you get a nice smoky oak birch base. and high compliment factor. Jeremy Fragrance has been bombarding my feed with Nitro Elixir. Have you ever tried it? I have. He shouldn't be bombing your feed. Do you have Dr. Squatch colognes? No. I do have Dr. Squatch deodorant, but not by choice. Do you have a good YSL-Y EDT clone? For me, the EDP smells too much like a Jolly Rancher. Al Fakar Black or Maison Alhambra? Yeah. YEA exclamation point. Better with you? Yes. What about Legend Spirit? Everyday utility wear. Don't pay more than 30 bucks for it. I actually meant, do you use any fragrances that smell like lemon? Yeah, absolutely. Wulong Cha, Ferragamo Bright Leather, Moncler La Corday, Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene, I'll leave it at that. You ever try Office for Men? I hear it's the best fresh fragrance ever made. Who'd you hear that from? I have not tried Office for Men yet. Actually, no, I have. I have tried it. I just don't remember it. Are you for or against putting fragrances in the refrigerator to maturate? This is going to sound crazy, but you know what's more refreshing than a warm glass of water? A cold glass of water. Changing the temperature to colder can give you the illusion that a fragrance is richer. So maybe you enjoy that experience, but to me, cooling a fragrance past cool, which it's cool just sitting on the shelf, increasing the coldness of a fragrance, to me, is not doing enough on a molecular level to speed up or slow down the maturation process in a way that warrants having a perfume in your refrigerator over just a cool, dry place, to me. But maybe when you take it out of the fridge and you spray it and you get that cold blast, you smell it more richly and your senses get ignited more. So, you know, do what suits you, but I've never felt the need. I have put fragrances in the fridge, and living in Arizona, I've gotten fragrances, you know, there's many days that are over 110 degrees Fahrenheit in Arizona. So there have been times where I've gotten a fragrance in the mail and it's so hot I can barely hold it. I'll put it in the fridge at that point, but I'm not putting it in the fridge to macerate. I'm just trying to cool the bottle down and then I take it out. Do you like or would you recommend trying anything from the house of Dua? With Dua, tread with caution. Sample, sample, sample. Talk to your friends who have Dua. Let them make the mistake. You don't have to be that guy. Dua fragrances are 50-50. Hot and not. When will Lalique sponsor you? They owe you. When they stop making forks and knives. I only consider your take on fragrances. You have not steered me wrong. I am thankful. Thank you, Myers. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the kind words. Favorite lighter oud fragrance? When I think of some light ouds, Taif Oud is a nice light oud. Oud for Greatness is a very nice light oud, in my opinion, compared to some other things that I've tried. Yeah, Oud for Greatness and Taif Oud are, if you want like a fresh oud that's not stinky, not funky, not heavy, I would start with Oud for Greatness. Thoughts on Eternal Oud by Lattafa? Pretty solid rendition, probably the best rendition of Grand Soir you're going to find, but it does need to macerate. My bottle took a year to macerate into a great scent. Legend Spirit to you like? Legend Spirit is good. Absolutely, LB. Thoughts on Nishane Ani and Ani X? I can't speak enough on Ani X because I've only tried it once. As far as Nishane Ani, it's one of the best cozy luxury vanillas out there. You don't, if you have Ani, you don't need a lot of fragrances. But if you're into Ani and you want my opinion on the best fragrances in that vein, I would just go straight to Coromandel. Lattafa clones of Initio, are they close enough to the OGs? Yeah. I mean, on camera, I can speak to this one. Where are you? I can confirm. All you need is this. You do not need this. It's a little bit fresher, same profile, same fragrance. 25 bucks. Go cop that. Only thing I'll say is comparatively, you need more sprays of the real thing, less sprays of this, because it's a little bit heavier. So one spray in the front, one spray in the back, you are set. Unless you're in a freezing cold, snowy place, then I would go 2 in the front and 2 in the back. But typically 1 front, 1 back, you are so good. I do appreciate the little bit of freshness that this is over the other one, but if you're asking me, you don't need it at all. Ha! Doesn't get old, man. Does not get old. PDM Carlisle. That's within my top 3 best parfums de Marly's, which would be Wajan, Galloway, Carlisle. Have you ever tried Blend Oud Zanzibar? No, I have not, brother. Sorry about that. How close is Fragrance World Suits to Tuxedo? 7 out of 10. 70% close. The best YSL Tuxedo clone I have smelled to date is Arabiat Nayel, Nayel space Oud, O-U-D. It is a spicier take on Tuxedo, but it is the closest, most quality, accurate clone. I would say it's about 95% accurate to Tuxedo with a slight more emphasis on spices. It's a little spicier, but I love that about the fragrance. And as far as the DNA, it is right there. It's so good. Best PDM Haltane clone. Look up Maison Alhambra Haltane clone and you will find it. That's a lot of perfume, brother. That's cool. Thank you, Johnson & Johnson. Have you smelled LV Symphony? I have. It's a good fragrance. It's not worth my money. And not only that, but now they just came out with a really good LV Symphony. I forget who made it. I think it was Lattafa or Al Haramain made a really good Symphony clone. And there's more, but they made a really good one. Is Slow Explosions really that good? It's a little bit for a lot of money. I love it, but it is not mass appealing. It's very niche. Tom Ford Oud Wood soaked in red sangria wine. That sounds crazy, I know, but it's one of the 2 fragrances I went to LA and smelled that I had to buy a bottle when I came home because I couldn't stop smelling the test strip. Smelled the test strip all the way from LA to Arizona. Thoughts on the new Cod Lodge Island Dreams? I haven't smelled it, Jeff. I've only smelled Cod Lodge Island. If Dreams is anything like Island, then get it. Popular fragrances that you don't like. Popular fragrances I don't like. I don't like Oud Satin Mood. I prefer Oud Silk Mood. I don't like Side Effect from Initio. I prefer so many other ones. Atomic Rose, Psychedelic Love, Absolute Aphrodisiac, Must Therapy. I don't like Creed Silver Mountain Water or Green Irish Tweed. I prefer other renditions of those. I don't like Tobacco Vanille. I just think it smells cheap to me. Yeah, those are some ones that a lot of people love that I really don't like. I don't even like By the Fireplace. I don't like What are some other hitters that people love? I don't like any Jean-Paul Gaultiers outside of Le Male Elixir. I don't like Stronger With You. I don't like any of the Versace line except for Eros. I don't like most of the Mind Games fragrances. I don't like Renaissance. I think it's too sharp and too cheap. I'm hurting a lot of people's hearts right now, so I'm just going to stop. What initio did you show on camera? Oud for greatness. The clone is Boreal Oud, Oud for glory. Sage is me high hit long lasting summer perfume. You got to ask that question differently. I don't understand French. Thank you for answering the questions and for taking your time. I respect the no capping as well. Absolutely, Mindset. Thank you for sticking around long enough to hear the answer. What's the best clone of Initio Atomic Rose? Unfortunately, the best clone of it is Boreal Oud's Amethyst, but you're gonna have to try and find a way to calm that fragrance down. Amethyst is so heavy, and most people don't like amethyst, but if you can just spray it one time and walk into it, that's about the closest you're gonna get to Atomic Rose. Don't spray it directly on because it'll have that Middle Eastern feel, but if you kind of spray it in the air and walk into it, and then spray it behind you and walk into it, you can get pretty scary close to Atomic Rose. Best tobacco fragrance under 50 bucks. Oh, easily Ombre Noir from Lalique. Ricky, don't ask questions. Blind buy this, brother. Trust me. I know your nose by now. This is one of the sexiest tobaccos you'll put your nose on. So smooth, drenched in cognac, tiny bit of cinnamon, bergamot, papyrus, lavender, mint. It's a fresh brush take on a cognac-soaked tobacco fragrance. It doesn't get better than this, brother. Oh, it doesn't get better than this. It does not get better than this. You guys just gotta trust me, man. I'm SB. I won't let you down. Yes, I have my preferences. Yes, not everybody loves what I love. I get it. We're different. We're human beings. But man, this is SB approved. If you like anything I do. Oh my gosh. I wish this fragrance alone would make me move to New York just so I can have more reasons to wear it. Oh, gosh. Let me get some light on myself. Bam. Old rap video, right? Look like a broke pimp. All right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much. Take care, Mike. Good to see you, brother. What designer release do you think secretly copied a niche DNA? Most of them. I mean, hey, Versace Eros Energy. Start there. The best YSL tuxedo clone is Winsome. False. False. Do me a favor. Object, if you think that, let me put it to the SB test. Find my private mailbox on the description of any of my videos. I'm willing to put money on it. Send me a decant. Can be tiny, 1 ml, 2 ml. Send me a decant of Winsome. I will put it next to a Rabiat Nile Oud, and I will tell the people unbiased, honest opinion, and I have tuxedo as well. If you got the nuts to do it, Object, send it over and let me do one for the people. Please pick one, Nishane Hasavat or Elysium. Hasavat. Hasavat's harder to clone. Elysium has a million fragrances that smell like it. Favorite Xerjoff right now? Probably either Apollonia or what is it, Louis the 15th? Somewhere in that realm. And listen, I'm always bugging. Get used to it. Okay, gotcha, Major. Thanks for that info. I knew it was something. What is the cologne you said you smelled the textures? You smelled the textures the whole flight. I don't know what that means. Chris, ask that a different way. Is Camera by Latafa better than Angel Share? No, not even close. It's not only not a great clone of Angel Share, it's also not better than Angel Share decisively. With that being said, Camera is a great fragrance, but it is nowhere near actual Angel Share in closeness, and if they were to battle, people would prefer Angel Share. I'm certain of it. Do you have Latafa Camera? What do you think about it? I do have Camera, and I prefer Kawa, but I'm a 36-year-old man, so take that into account. When is the Lalique collab coming? Soon. That's okay, Manav. Hey, listen, guys, if you guys are new in here, I always have trolls that come in here. It's beautiful. I love it. It's good for the channel. By the way, please hit the 3 dots right here or right here and then hit the thumbs up like button. The reason that trolls are in here is because you guys haven't liked the video enough. Once YouTube sees enough ratio of likes to people in here, they boot out all the trolls. So you guys took a long time to start ramping up the likes, and that's what it comes with. But don't worry, we got snipers on deck all the time. We love trolls. Like I said, man, if you want to get 2 seconds of fame, I'll give it to you. I'm more than happy to. You know, if your life is that low that getting banned will lift you up and make you feel hard for a couple of seconds, which has probably never happened in your life, I want to be that spark. Don't ever pose again. Kicks, don't judge me. I would happily do it, bro, but I live in Finland. Buy the Decant for me. Buy it from a US site and have it sent to me. There you go, Object. Yeah, I just got it in 2 days ago, and it's nice, but never smelled the OG. Yeah, it smells nothing like Angel Share, bro. Nothing like it. Like, if I had to say how close Camera is to Angel Share, I'd probably say like 75%, maybe. I might even say 70, truthfully. It's still a good fragrance, though. It's just heavy, man. Angel Share is so light. It's got an apple juice density. Camera's got like a freaking potpourri Thanksgiving ham level density. You flew to LA to sample a cologne, and when you got home, you had to buy it because you smelled the textures of it the entire flight home. What was the cologne? Oh, I didn't fly home. I drove home, and I was smelling it all the way home. Imaginary Authors' Slow Explosions, Patchouli Memory by Ex Nihilo, and Whiskey, Baranda by Nasamato. Love you guys, man. Don't let the trolls get you. They never do. I'm so blessed. It's ridiculous. Hey, thank you, Major. Appreciate you. Kind words. Which Armani code version is the truest to the original DNA? Which Armani code version is the truest to the original DNA Profumo? I wouldn't chase Armani code if you're looking for Profumo. Oh, wait, which Armani code version is the truest to the original DNA? None of them. If you want the original DNA from Armani with an Armani fragrance, you got to buy an older rendition. Kicks. We now on the phone. Let me introduce myself. Yeah, hey, what's the Model 6's motto? I don't, come on. Don't be silly. Don't get kicked. Don't be weird. Be fun. Just here to listen while I work. What's up, Michael? Oh, Paul. Hey, yo. Hey, Dubs in the chat, guys. Michael Paul, Day 3 Fragrances in the chat, man. What's up? Mike, so good to see you, man. Good to have you. What is more masculine in your opinion, Atomic Rose or Side Effect? Atomic Rose or Side Effect? What is more masculine? He said masculine. Neither. Neither. I mean, listen, man, you wear what you want to wear. People will probably call that unisex, especially Initio's approach as a house leans like unisex as a house, but they lean on romantic, dark, you know, big, heavy scents, nightlife, winter, fall. So I would say neither leans more masculine, but I think more men purchase Side Effect than Atomic Rose. But I personally like Atomic Rose more than Side Effect. But Side Effect is a masterpiece to most people in perfumery, just not to me. Which feels more luxurious to wear, Initio Oud for Greatness or Amouage Reflection Man? Which feels more luxurious? I don't know. That fragrance from Amouage, Amouage is a challenging house. They build fragrance layers differently in a less mass appealing, more niche, narrow way, which isn't a bad thing. They're just more creative as a house. So saying what feels more luxurious would be like really subjective there. The more mass appealing fragrance would definitely be Oud for Greatness. It's a fresher fragrance, even for an Oud fragrance. I think people would lean towards Oud for Greatness over Reflection Man, but Reflection Man's very popular. Don't sleep on Reflection Man. As far as Fragcom's concerned, I think most people hold both of those in pretty high regard. But if you're asking me, nothing beats Oud for Greatness in that comparison because, you know, this to me is the Great Gatsby. This is Leonardo DiCaprio sitting on the staircase looking at the mansion party, you know, and everyone's looking at him. He's the man of the hour, the mystery man, the luxury man. There's something super alluring about him, but dark at the same time. Super fresh, though, for a Oud. Not real Oud, but who the heck cares? Yeah, I think this is more luxurious, man. Does Amaya Shaharov blend too close to Angel Share? Can't answer that one. Does Parfums de Marly, Layton, or Carlisle actually perform better in real world use? Not just, wait, hold on, let me read that again. Does PDM, Layton, or Carlisle actually perform better in real world use, not just test strips? I would lean towards Carlisle, but Layton has decent performance. I forget how it compares to exclusive rendition of Layton. I honestly, this is, guys, listen, this is crazy, but you know, I don't cap. You know, we can go niche, we can go independent niche, we can go designer, we can go clonery, whatever you guys want to do. I don't care. But listen, to me, over Layton, same DNA, but I prefer it because it's fresher. Lalique, white and black. Listen, man, I've smelled exclusive, I've smelled Layton, I have them. I prefer the fresh take on that profile of what Lalique was doing in Lalique White and Black. Masterful juice, super affordable. And no one talks about it. You guys keep talking about all these clones and stuff, man. Get yourself a designer if you're chasing that DNA affordably. But I actually prefer it over Layton. Can we see the Jean Paul Gaultier cologne? What about it, King? What do you want to know about Jean Paul Gaultier? You guys know I'm not the guy to ask about Jean Paul Gaultier. That's not my tea. I'm going Lamal Elixir all day if I have to, but even then I'll probably slide over to Halloween Man Shot by Jesus Del Pozo, or even something heavier. Yeah, no. Halloween Man's good for me. Yeah, you're a huge Oud for Greatness fan. Okay. I mean, listen, I've dropped 800 reviews in a year. I'm building my elite collection right now based off of different categories. There's very few fragrances that I'm a huge fan of, which is why I've started doing the memoirs. When you guys see me do a memoir on my channel, that's a fragrance that's holy grail to me. And I do not review fragrances I don't do a memoir of a fragrance unless I've been sitting there with a fragrance for at least a year, really wearing it in and out. And I only have like 4 memoirs out right now because I really take my time. It's got to be elite. Put it this way, I have to be able to sit down and freestyle a speech about a fragrance for an hour minimum for it to go in a memoir. So it's got to be special juice. Like, is it for dating or something else? So if you're asking me for the best date Jean-Paul Gaultier, I'm going to say Le Male Elixir every time. Depending on your age and depending on your preference, everybody has one or two Jean-Paul Gaultiers. I find that the older men, 25 and up, tend to lean towards Le Male Elixir for the tobacco, for the more manliness, less boy toy feel. I'm not going to hate on Jean-Paul Gaultier. Many people love him. To me, grown and sexy, the only one that even tries to do it is Le Male Elixir. But, you know, all my young cats out there, Trey, Chris, all those guys, you know, they mess with LeBeau, they mess with Ultramall, they mess with Paradise Garden. You know, I don't think they're bad juices. They just scream boy toy to me. True. And SB Memoir says a lot about the fragrance. By the way, guys, all right, we're going to share it here. Tomorrow's memoir that drops in the afternoon is this fragrance right here. Vetiver Sensual Mancera. Top 2 best vetiver of all time. I'm reserving number 1 because for reasons I can't discuss right now, but tomorrow's memoir that drops at 11 or 12 o'clock Pacific will be on Vetiver Sensual, and it's a goodie, so trust me. Join me for the watch party. If you guys want to watch it live on YouTube with me in the chat, definitely stop by. It'll be a party. And by the way, you guys need to know that the giveaway is still coming too. I'm putting together the packages. Last giveaway, we gave away 32 bottles to 11 people. Biggest giveaway in FragCom, period. I don't want to hear it. It just is what it is. This time, I'm not going to give to as many people. We're not going to do 11 people. That was crazy. Like, you had the back of my car looking like I was Santa Claus or something. This time, we're going to pick, I think, 3 winners, but we're going to give them fragrance bundles. So they will get, 3 people will get massive fragrance bundles, probably in my jumbo boxes. So enough fragrances that'll go. What the heck? What fragrance was this? What fragrance was this? I think Herba Gold, maybe? Yeah, so 3 people will get jumbo boxes. We're gonna ball out. Boom, boom, boom. Gonna be at the watch party for sure. Appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, we've been at 68 minutes. You guys know how my knees get, man. I'm about to be 37. It's real out here. Last minute questions, put them in the chat. Normally we'll go for like an hour or 2, but we've been going crazy with the content this week. So if you're new to the channel, I drop 2 to 4 videos every single day, and I've been doing it since I've come out. The channel growth has been absolutely insane. We're gonna hit our first million probably this month. The feedback, the interactions have been insane. Guys, listen, by the end of this year, I have such a crazy fragrance experience built out into this platform that I haven't dropped yet. You're going to want to be around. So even right now, when you guys see, we have the long form reviews, we do shorts galore, we have the Wheel of Fragrance game show. Speaking of Michael Paul, Michael was kind enough to let me do a quick interview on him with the latest release from Day 3 Fragrances, which is Desert Rain. And we did an interview with him in the shop, which I'd like to do a longer interview soon. So we'll talk about that. But there's just a lot of stuff. You know, we interview perfumers, we go to the boutiques, we travel. We just hit everything. I leave no rock unturned. You know, I'm just on a journey. This week we're doing vintage. So I copped like 40 vintage fragrances from 1880 to 1980. We're going to do some studying. We're going to look and see what vintage fragrances are still worth going into. We got some Ubagant. We got some vintage Guerlain. We got some vintage Chanel. We got Estee Lauder. We got just a lot of stuff. I'm about to finish my Lalique collection with some discontinueds. So we got a lot of stuff coming in. I'm excited to share it with you. If you're new to the channel, make sure you follow. Subscribe, it's free. Give it a week. You'll know right away if this is the place you want to call home. But we go crazy in here with so much content, it's ridiculous. I tell people this all the time. I post more than Jen Sense. If you would have to leave one fragrance out of all of your collection, if you would have to leave one fragrance, leave a fragrance? Do you like Boss Bottled Absolute? Absolute is cool. I mean, listen, Absolute's cool, Elixir's cool, the Scent Magnetic's cool, the Scent's cool. Not really my tea. There's some kind of synthetic, and again, let me clarify what I mean by synthetic, because most fragrances have synthetics. There is a odd note in the Boss Bottled series consistently with the fall winter scents that I don't like, but that aside, Elixir Absolute, the Scent, and the Scent Magnetic are cool. I just don't rock them a lot for that reason. What's the best cologne you've ever smelled? The most interesting fragrance I have ever smelled. Well, interesting is not the right word. A fragrance that I smelled that literally was like, whoa, I haven't smelled anything like this before, would easily be Diaghilev from Rozha. I imagine Vladimir Putin would have this as his signature fragrance. Had I smelled Guerlain's either Mitsuko or Jiki, I would have realized that Rozha Dove cloned Guerlain and just made a heavier version. But at the time that I first encountered this fragrance, it was like, oh, you know, like I felt like I had senses being ignited that I wasn't aware of. So this was definitely the most like wow factor. Diaghilev's a scent that perplexed me when I smelled it. I can't truthfully say to you guys when I smelled it, I wanted it, but it's a scent that went in a direction I wasn't familiar with in a very intense way. You know, any of you guys that have Diaghilev know it's like one spray killer. Like if I sprayed it in this room right now, it'd probably be in here for like 5 days. But yeah, that's one of the most unique. Unique's not even the right word. I've smelled a lot of unique fragrances. It's a fragrance I smelled that kind of blew me away in curiosity, and I had a million questions for it. If you would have to choose one fragrance out of your entire collection for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I've got some... SB is weird, guys. Y'all know this. You guys would expect me to, like, pull out Bodicea, you know, or something crazy. That's not me, man. I'm so glad I've smelled thousands and thousands of fragrances in such a short period of time and then I'm also glad to be as deep in perfumery as I am as an older guy. You know, like I said, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm about to be 37. I'm at an age where I'm very comfortable with being honest with myself and not caring what anybody thinks. But I'm not, what's the word, delusional, because the opinion that I have about what I enjoy has in context the fact that I've smelled thousands of fragrances this year. From the clone, dupe, and inspiration category, there's not a single designer fragrance I haven't touched, and there's not a single retail niche fragrance I haven't touched multiple times or have in my 700 Decant collection under all this. So I feel like my opinions about fragrance are very informed. I'm not the Lord of fragrance. What I say doesn't go, but I live in my body, and that's allowed me to have really informed decisions about just being real about what I like. So many people are quick to say they like certain fragrances just because in FragCom, people want to say that they have a fragrance that EQ or TLTG or Bowtie or Fragrance Apprentice or Chaos or Gentsense, Cuba, Melissa, they want to be able to say they have the fragrances that these people put in their top fives and their panty droppers and their seasonal scents. And listen, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. But for me, I'm thankful I'm at the age and I've tried a lot of fragrances where I want to buy what I like. And it seems so obvious to say, right? But it's not. FragCom is not the only place that's like this. It's like life. We like to feel a part of something. We like camaraderie. We like to fit in. We like barbershop talk. We love gossip. And so it just feels cool to be a part of what people are talking about. And that's cool. But for me, I don't take that route. So I say all that to say you would be surprised at what are some of my most flagship fragrances. But in the end, probably by about end of 2026, I will give you guys my 20 Holy Grail Vintage, 20 Holy Grail Clone, 20 Holy Grail Designers, 20 Holy Grail Niche, and 20 Holy Grail Independent Niche. And I'll be ready to give that list probably in another year's time. I am still on my scouring the earth journey of fragrances. Do you have Polo Romance? I know it's discontinued. No, I don't. Do you have Lalique Lin Sumi? I've wanted to try it for a while. Come on, David. You know the answer to that. Lalique Lin Sumi is one of my favorites. Probably to me, one of the best white collar. Is it white collar or blue collar? One of the best everyday office scents signature of all time. This ties to me with Grey Vetiver. It's a preference. I like cleanliness. I like earthiness. I like signature. So for office, my top two best office fragrances of all time is Lin Sumi and Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. Lin Sumi is Dior's Eau Sauvage, modern, 2025 today. Outdoor green, tree sap, airiness, morning dew, but super airy, fresh, clean, has a watery note to it that just makes it light, but still very projective. But you have a scent bubble. You're not screaming. Super clean, captures the outdoors. It's got balls to it. It's daring. And they actually took Eau Sauvage DNA to another level, to the point where I would not call this a clone of Eau Sauvage. Eau Sauvage is old money. Eau Sauvage is, you know, bankers and tellers and stuff like that back in the day that made money. It smells like old money. It's a classic fragrance, but the performance is trash. That doesn't always matter, but in this case, it's helping me with my conversation about Lin Sumi, so I'm going to run with it. Lin Sumi is classic Holy Grail material. And yeah, Grey Vetiver Tom Ford Eau de Parfum. I'm a vetiver lover. Screw it, right? If you would have to choose one fragrance out of your entire collection, we already did that. Do you have Lalique Lin Sumi? We did that. Do you have Polo Romance? We did that. For Signature Freshie, would you rather wear Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme or Versace Pour Homme? Neither. If I was pigeonholed into those two, I would go Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. You're the commander of fragrance, or the professor, whichever one you prefer. Coach EDP is so gassed, the new one. Hey, man, I'm happy for you. Thoughts on Fragrance World's Royal Blend? Royal Blend sucks. Royal Blend Nero is a knockoff of Angel Share. And to me, if you're going to do that, go Paris Corner Amir's Fire Your Desire. But Royal Blend Nero isn't necessarily Angel Share. It's Angel Share by about 90%, but it's a very rich Wajan syrupy level fragrance. And it's the only fragrance I'd recommend if you're looking for the Angel Share DNA. You guys hear me talk about this a lot. When it comes to Angel Share, what a lot of people miss is they nail the smell, but they don't nail the texture. Angel Share has a very alcoholic apple juice kind of weight to it. It doesn't smell like apple juice. I'm talking about how it feels. It's not syrupy. It's sweet, but while having an apple juice kind of weight. It feels light and airy while still being super dense and sexy and seductive. So a lot of fragrances will nail the scent but miss the weight and texture of how that fragrance is supposed to feel. So for instance, with Camera, they just gave it all this, it's like this robust, heavy, thick, syrupy weightiness to it that just is not what that scent is. And that's one of the biggest reasons why it smells nothing like Angel Share. Do you have Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Parfum? You must be new to the channel. I don't like Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrances other than Le Male Elixir. And even then, I would probably move up to something in the niche category, only for that DNA specifically. Have you smelled the new Angel Share Paradise or something like that? No, I haven't, Joey. I have not put my nose to it yet. What up, Skib? Do you think Dolce & Gabbana, the 1 EDP, aged well? Yeah, it's classic. It's not my tea, but it's classic. The blend is nice. Very nice, seductive, romantic scent. It's just not my speed. It's 2025. Top 3 Chanel exclusives that are worth the money. That is rough. Easily Coromandel, easily Le Leon, and then probably behind that is going to be a tie. Most of the exclusive line is, they claim it's unisex, but I think most of them are feminine leaning unisex, significantly feminine leaning. But no question Coromandel and Le Leon have to be the top 2 best Chanel exclusive fragrances. After that, I would say Sycamore, but most people don't like smoky, woody, vetiver, traditional, conservative vetiver type of fragrances. So number 3, maybe you could throw Boy or Jersey in there, something like that. But to me, if you have Coromandel and Le Leon, you don't need the rest of the line unless you're a woman. Have you tried that Cupid cologne? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hugo Boss, the scent elixir, what's your thoughts on it? 7 out of 10. What would be the niche version of Jean-Paul Gaultier? Depends on which one, Esteban. Pick one. Why is everything unisex now? I don't even remember. You guys are going to get me in trouble in here. You guys are going to get me in trouble, bro. First, let me just say I don't know. I think one big factor in why fragrances are unisex is because they sell more. Why? Because more people, you've now opened up the gender. If this fragrance could possibly be for men or women, you have more people smelling the fragrance, which means more sales opportunities. That's a huge motivating factor. I don't think it's a crime to want women and men to want to love a fragrance. Also, from a perfumer standpoint, I think if you're chasing ideas and concepts and vibes and moods, those fragrances tend to be more unisex because you're not thinking of a man or a woman. Maybe you're thinking of a slice of apple pie or a jar of honey or a basket of fruit. And those don't inherently make you think about making a fragrance that feels like it has traditional masculine notes or feels like it has traditional feminine notes in it. So that plays into it as well. Like, what's the direction of the perfumer? But it's hard because I could make a great answer for that perfumers would probably agree with, but then you don't know on a per fragrance basis what is a cash grab unisex move and what is a creativity art purist move with the fragrance. So as an audience, you know, you got to navigate it all and just kind of, it is what it is, you know, but there's no doubt that the sellability of a unisex fragrance, you know, is an appealing route to take. It opens up your marketplace. And then, you know, we're in 2025. So now we're in a time where masculinity and femininity is up for grabs and we're questioning what's masculine and what's feminine, and things we used to think were masculine might be unisex and vice versa and all that. So we have this really, you know, kind of wannabe progressive kind of people where we're learning new things, we're challenging certain norms and stuff, and that's opening up the door and giving unisex a much wider definition and also giving it a necessity in the conversation of fragrance. So, you know, I don't know how I feel about the whole unisex thing. I'm just observing it and taking it on a case-by-case basis. I haven't really formed strong emotional energy towards wanting to land somewhere with it. It's just something we got to wait and see how it develops. I do think though that we do need to have clear ways to navigate fragrance boutiques, because it's one thing if I'm walking into Day 3 fragrances, for instance, and I'm looking at their line of fragrances versus going into a Neiman Marcus where now I'm dealing with Chanel, Tom Ford, Byredo, Initio, Frederic Malle, Xerjoff, Amouage, Mind Games, Creed, you know, Joe Malone. I need navigational tools to navigate retail. If I'm in a boutique, you can be, I feel, a little more open-ended with allowing people to just smell what they smell and like what they like. But I do think masculinity and femininity in some regard has to be held from a navigation standpoint. I don't have hours to sit in a fragrance store because you said that everything was unisex, and I'm talking retail right now. I need to be able to navigate somewhat quickly because I'm not trying to be in a fragrance store all day. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if everything said unisex, okay, now I have to smell hundreds of more fragrances because now that opens up the entire women line. So again, it's just something to see how it plays out. I'm sure, you know, we'll get the good and the bad with it. But what are some good discounters to get besides Joma Shop and Max Aroma? First and foremost, I'll say if you really love a house, invest in your house because, you know, support the companies that you really support, because a lot of people are out here for reasons other than the beauty of perfumery. And so when somebody's doing something right, support the brand directly. But with that being said, you have Joma Shop, Max Aroma, Fragrance by CA, Olfactory. You got things like What App. You have things like Mercari and all this jazz. Go with the online discount retailers for reliability. And move with a grain of salt. I'm getting 15 new fragrances soon. What should I get? Just roll the dice, man. Which fresh vetiver scent is more timeless, Guerlain's vetiver or Terre d'Hermes? Oh, Terre d'Hermes Eau Intense vetiver. Both of them. They're both equally timeless. Guerlain's vetiver is more popular as a name and as a house and as a 100+ year history, but that doesn't necessarily mean inherently that it's a better fragrance than Eau Intense vetiver. Eau Intense vetivers are a great fragrance. I personally don't think Guerlain or Hermes's vetiver are among the top 3 or even the top 5 best vetivers out there. I would point you towards Roja's vetiver. I would point you towards Vetiver Sensual. I would point you towards Amarud's Lunar vetiver. If you want to go more traditional, Encre Noir à l'Extrême, Sycamore, you know, your Creed's Original vetiver, Old Batch. You know, there's a lot of great vetiver scents, but Guerlain's vetiver is cool. The Parfum in 2025 is definitely the one you want to shoot for, to not get, you know, a sharp tart vetiver. It still rounds it out a bit more. Original old school Guerlain's vetiver is hard to top in terms of what I separate vetiver into 2 categories: purist vetiver and modern vetiver. Your purist vetivers are going to be drier, woodier, smokier. Your modern vetivers are going to be counterbalanced with, you know, citruses, aquatics, fruits, just anything really, mainly citruses. And then what else did I want to say about that? Oh, and then also you got to remember that vetiver is one of those notes where you can build multiple perfumes out of just a single note. So vetiver can be, you know, it can be soapy, inky, dark earthy, fresh earthy, linen-y, smoky, I think I already said. It can be green, There's so many facets to vetiver. So when you're talking about great vetiver fragrances, I think you have to include all of the different nooks and crannies, or at least solid purist vetivers and then innovative vetivers that are more modern. How long have you really been into fragrances? You seem quite knowledgeable. What were your first fragrances that brought you into this world? What do you really like about fragrances? I wouldn't consider myself a frag head, even though in the last 5 years, I've probably smelled more fragrances than 100 people standing in a room. But I've been wearing fragrance for 20 years. I wore the same 5 or 6 fragrances for about 15 years of my life with no real desire to appreciate the art of perfumery or anything, just using it purely from a utility standpoint. As a kid, trying to bag chicks, trying to smell good, trying to have something for the funeral, try to have something for the party, you know? So I wasn't that, I wanted to smell good, but I was not into versatility and the art form. I was much more preoccupied. And then about 5 years ago is when I really went crazy. And that's a story for another time. Maybe we'll make that a memoir, how I got into fragrances. But about 5 years ago, I really went nuts and started discovering that there's a lot of different fragrance tiers, and quality and prices and nuances. And I'm at an age where, when you start to get in your 30s and 40s and 50s, you hope to, this doesn't always happen, but you hope to find another hobby that can replace something that you could have only done as a young guy that fits the taste and season of life that you're in now. Fragrances are very convenient for me. I shop, I drive around, I can smell fragrances very easily. I sit in an office at night, I'm an audio engineer at night. I work in finance during the day. So when I come home, I'm in my office a lot, having fragrances, smelling perfumes, oils, all that stuff. I just took a liking to it. And so I've kind of speed ran my fragrance journey because in the last 5 years, especially like even just in the last 2 years, I've smelled everything designer has to offer. I've smelled everything in a Neiman Marcus, period. I've smelled a ton of independent niche. I've traveled to try independent niche. I've been into oils. Recently, I'm into vintage, so I've purchased 40 or 50 classic vintage fragrances. The clone game has been going absolutely insane, so I had to do my homework and sift through the thousands. Here's a crazy stat for you guys. Did you know that a house like Risasi does 400 million fragrances a year? They manufacture 400 million bottles of perfume a year. You know how insane that is? That's Risasi. So imagine these other houses, right? So fragrances are getting made like crazy. And I say that because the clone game is insane. Dudes are becoming almost billionaires, not billionaires, but multimillionaires overnight, in Dubai and India and in Italy and France. So these houses just have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of clones. And so since a lot of you guys, shop with affordability in mind and the idea of getting 12 cents for $300 is better than getting one Roja, which in some cases I would amen and in other cases I wouldn't. But I have to know about these things. So I scoured the clone world to know about it, to see what's going on, to see what's changing. What's interesting is at this point in time now, you have Middle Eastern houses hiring, niche perfumers. So for instance, and I think that's probably the goal all along. Clone your way to the top, make a bunch of money, and then use that money to just start hiring big name perfumers to make your own proprietary non-clone scents. And then, ride the gravy train until you can move into your own line. So for instance, with Teriyaki Intense, this really isn't cloning anything because it's a clone house, but it was made by Quentin Biche. They one-offed him on this fragrance. And so it's some of the first of its kind in terms of a clone house hiring a niche perfumer to make a proprietary scent for what we know as a clone house. And that's happening a lot. Like in the last couple of years, that's been spreading like wildfire. But you know, people have been cloning forever. Clone houses used to be, and again, people have varying opinions on this, but clone or niche perfume houses used to be viewed as the original cloners, right? Because they're taking all these designer DNAs and sprucing and reducing and adding. Everybody's been cloning each other, guys. The designer guys clone the designers. The niche guys clone the niche guys. The independent people a lot of times get started by cloning a niche or by cloning niche and designer ideas. I mean, it just happens all the time. And then in one aspect, you can't even fault it because sometimes it might just be the case where you like certain things. And so it's like maybe nothing new is under the sun, you know? So if you're trying to make an iris fragrance, how do you not think about Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Intense, and everything, you know, Prada L'Homme and all that jazz. So in that respect, it's like you might bump into accidentally making a clonish type of fragrance, and that wasn't even your intention. You know, Michael, you know, he kind of refreshed me in the idea that when you're trying to make a perfume based off of a memory or a time or a place or an idea or a meal or something like that, you're more likely to make something unique that hasn't been done before, because when you're trying to capture an idea that's right in front of you, you're not thinking about a man or a woman. You're not thinking about fragrances that remind you of what you might make when you make this. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was to stand here and say, I want, you know, maybe let's say I'm in the Swiss Alps eating an apple, right? And I'm eating that apple in the Alps and I'm just enjoying that apple and I'm like, dang, you know what? This smells awesome. A crisp red apple in the snow. And then I get this kind of minty touch because the air is cold and so my breath is freezing. I want to replicate that scent. You're more likely to make something extremely unique that hasn't been done before. But, you know, people have budgets and target goals and accountants and stuff like that. So, you know, it's always been the case in the arts that most people chase non-artistic intentions in the space, and there's always a narrow few who are trying to be faithful with the art and purpose. No, my age is 15. I'm getting a new fragrance. What's your recommendation? Versace Eros EDT, 35 bucks, 100 ml. Do you like or ever tried Arabian Oud Sultani? Just got a 200 ml. I haven't tried it yet, John Doe. Anything you recommend with basil notes? YSL L'Homme is just entry staple Hall of Fame basil. I wouldn't even like this fragrance if it didn't have basil in it. YSL Original L'Homme, a very prominent stick out basil note that you gotta try. I know people talk about La Nuit de L'Homme, Blue Electrique, Tuxedo, Baby Cat, Y, and myself, but really put your nose on Original L'Homme. Recommendations from Order Parisi. Ooh, I thought you said Nasamato. Order Parisi is very challenging. I think all of the Order Parisi fragrances was like this Italian dude that made fragrances reminiscent of his father or something, his aged father. So they all kind of have this grown, heavy tone to them. I wouldn't blind recommend anything from Order Parisi. Put your nose on all of them. I'm sure it's kind of like Amouage, you know. You try 100 Amouage fragrances, you know, you might only like 10 out of 100, but those 10 will be signature, fall in love, knees weak type of scents. But they're going for more creativity. Order Parisi as a house is a very creative house. You just need to put your nose on everything. Don't blind try anything. And when you try an Order Parisi fragrance, really try the Discovery set, because it's like Javoy. You'll noticeably smell a difference in the style and creativity. Even Ex Nihilo all their fragrances have a certain weight and a certain balance to them where I can spot an Ex Nihilo fragrance a mile away. Day 3 has a similar base feeling to the fragrance and weight to the fragrance that I can recognize very well. Xerjoff, Creed, or Old Creed, Chanel. So Order Parisi is definitely a house I would recommend a discovery set. Don't just look at what people are saying is good. Most people who are trying to tell you what the top Order Parisi fragrances are going to be 40 plus. So take that with a grain of salt. High Heat Weather Summer Perfume, Vetiver Sensual from Mancera, Amberful, Lemon Oud Mint, any of those. Try those. There's no way they don't make your top. There's no way they don't make your top 5 vetiver scents. Oh no, they absolutely don't. They absolutely don't. Dude, watch my vetiver video and you'll see why they don't. Is it true that the performance on Glorious Oud Royal Blanc isn't that strong? That's false. I get 10 hours on Glorious Oud Royal Blanc. And I get the same performance with Initio's Musk Therapy. Day 3 is tied for my favorite house. I can't choose between them or Xerjoff. Hey, Mike, if you're in here, man, dude just gave you props. Said he can't decide whether Day 3 or Xerjoff. Yo, Xerjoff's bag is heavy. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. For Mike to have like 11, 12 fragrances out, relatively new house, sizing him up with Xerjoff this early in the game. Hey, man, I know he loved to hear that if he was around. I wouldn't disagree with you either. Hey, man, let Mike cook. Give him some time. Let Mike cook his stew, man. Let him hit 20 fragrances before y'all start pumping him up like that. What's a long-lasting, strong scent that has a 10 out of 10 scent profile? Vetiver Sensual, easily. SB, good night, my guy. I got curfew. Kicks, thank you for modding, bro. Love you, man. With so many in your collection, which ones have that wow factor based on scent profile and the artistry? You guys know this, man. Wow factors for me, wow factor publicly as far as compliment factor, not wow factor like SB just said wow when he tried this fragrance. Some high compliment factors: Absolute Aphrodisiac, Trace Oros, Kajal 3, Talismanic Straight, by Killian Straight to Heaven. Shoot, even Flor Narcotique runs up the compliments. Get the Straight though. Roja Oceania, Hanuman Bodicea, Herods from Roja. Shoot, Bulgari Man in Black, always high compliment factor. Ombre Noir Lalique, Coromandel, Le Leon, of course. There's a lot, man. I'm just naming stuff. Pardon. Bro is faded, probably. What do you think? I've never heard of that. Sorry, 170 bucks for 50 ml of Trace Oros seems unreasonable. I'm going to help you out, Hi. They're not 170. They're 155. And a lot of times there's discount codes. Watch Melissa, watch Tazo. Someone's got a discount code. But I always recommend getting the Discovery set. Now, a lot of people in here blind buy because it's SB approved. So a lot of you guys just straight up buy the Day 3 fragrances. But there's a handful of you guys. Like I'm talking at least 20 or 30 of you have went out and got the Discovery set and then fallen in love with the house. Create your hit list and then use the coupon they give you to go get your 55 or your 40, 50 bucks off. So, you know, but I can say this without a doubt. I challenge you to show me a fragrance that is between the $120 to $200 price point that offers the same scent experience, projection, longevity, sillage experience, and wow factor as a Day 3 fragrance. We can go head to head. I'd be happy to see what you compare it to because you would have to really dig deep and put some heavy hitters to even start the conversation. And you guys all know that. Only a new person in here would say that. I do love Chanel, Egoist Platinum and Egoist, Egoist, Platinum Egoist specifically, and Jacques Paul, a master perfumer, just awesome. Yeah, I prefer original Egoist over Platinum, but that's, you know, most people prefer Platinum over Egoist, so I'm different. Have you smelled the red wedding perfume? No, I haven't. Don't. You guys always carry me so long in here. I'm gonna have to sign off soon. You guys know the only reason I'm still in here is because the chat's going crazy, and that's why I'm always in here for 2 hours. But your boy's got to get some sleep. What do you think of the scent? I love the clone industry. Best thing to ever happen in Fragcom. The one thing I do love about the clone game is its juices are relatively affordable to make. If you are going to charge insane prices on your perfumery, I better have an insane experience. Point blank, period. And I think we live in a time where it's very reasonable for a house to make a somewhat affordable fragrance, but still have brand value tier difference as you come up as a reputable brand, and still not make people have to skip their mortgage to get the fragrance. What do you think of the scent? With so many in your collection. Best fragrance for a college kid. Bleu de Chanel, Eau de Parfum, or Parfum. Probably Eau de Parfum since you're a kid. Eros EDT, Blue. Gucci Guilty Elixir. And then maybe get a date night fragrance. Givenchy, Gentleman Reserve Privé. Any of the 1 million, Royal, Lucky, Elixir. Boss Bottle Absolutes. You're Stronger with Use. You know, stuff like that. Have a date fragrance. Have an everyday wear. Eros is nice because it's an everyday 4 seasons wear that can double into date night because it's sweet. Gucci Guilty Elixir is like Eros but more classy because it's less sweet. Bleu de Chanel is kind of an everyday blue that's classy. Bond number 9, Riverside Drive, has a lot of basil. Appreciate you for recommending that. For a sweet gourmand, would you have Mugler Pure Havant or Carolina Herrera? Both, honestly, Dashy. Hey, mate, what do you prefer, Tuscan leather or ombre leather? Neither. Eau de ombre leather. The new one. Eau de ombre leather. Ombre leather's good. Tuscan leather's good. Eau de ombre leather is modern and great and more wearable. How does Gucci Guilty Elixir... What does Gucci Guilty Elixir smell like? It smells like Drake's Summer Mink with far less sweetness and more sophistication. So if you want a better smelling Summer Mink, way cheaper, get Gucci Guilty Elixir. Between Mont Blanc, Explorer, and Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is the smarter Aventus alternative today? Club de Nuit Pre-Show 1. Fragrance is under $50 that gets insane compliments. Lalique White and Black. Lalique Ombre Noir. Thoughts on Hasavat? Where does Nishane's perfumery rank in your scale? Nishane makes great fragrances. You know, Hasavat, Wulong Cha, Ani, E.G., they got a lot of bangers. Thousand Silent Ways, Fan Your Flames, they're all good. Fragrances that hypnotize women. Shout out Day 3 Fragrances, Trace Oros. I've gotten the most compliments on a fragrance from Trace Oros, which is saying a lot because I have some sexy killers. For a leather scent, would you choose Aqua de Parma leather or Tom Ford ombre leather, Eau de ombre leather, or ombre leather parfum? I haven't the red. I have the red wedding. It's not for a younger guy at all. It smells very old school. I like it, but I'm 47. Hey Scott, we do what we do in our 40s, right? Okay, hey, listen. I appreciate you guys so much. We had thousands of people coming in here tonight as usual. That's the only reason I hung out. I am the Scent Bubble. I post 2 to 4 videos every single day. Game shows, interviews, long reviews, short reviews, memoirs. We're putting a lot of women in from Fragcom in, so you guys are going to start seeing a lot of videos of me interviewing women to get a female's perspective and to play some cool game show stuff. The content is crazy, guys. Like I said, I post more than Gent Sense, so I treat my channel like an upscale channel, and that's why the growth has been insane. We're now at the point where we're getting like 1,000 subs every 2 months. So it's about to be crazy. We just hit the 2K. We're already at the 3K. We're already a quarter of the way into the 4K. Things are going really fast. So I want to say thank you to you guys. The only reason I go live is so you guys can get direct access to me by asking questions that you have been building up throughout the week. And I really appreciate and hope that it brought value to you guys tonight. If there was anything you asked that I skipped over, a lot of people say I'm a bot in my lives because you guys ask so many questions that I have to be behind because I try to answer every question very thoughtfully. But if I did skip a question, please copy it, put it in the comment section below. I will answer it no later than tomorrow. And with that being said, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow because I dropped my next memoir, which will be on Vetiver Sensual. And we're doing a whole month of vintage. So I'm putting you guys onto old vintage perfumes, history of it, stuff that I think is still timeless for today. And then I'm always mixing independent niche, clone dupe inspired, and designer within all of that. I have 40 or 50 videos queued up, scheduled to release. So I always make sure that even like this month when I'm doing vintage only, we're still doing all the other tiers of fragrance mixed within that. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on your notification bells because we drop all the time. Join me for the watch party tomorrow. And if you're new to the channel and you're into any kind of fragrance content, I post all the time. So sub for a week and you might wind up calling this place home. Mike, if you're still there, thanks for tuning in, brother. I'll see you soon. And thank you to everybody who joined in on this live. Love you guys. Have a great night.